Naruto has been a staple in my anime appetite for over a decade, and I do love Naruto. Considering it was part of the big three in shonen, there should be no surprise. However, my experience enjoying Naruto as a child changed greatly as I aged. Some things that I once viewed as creative are now contrivances. In fact, the entire last arc of Naruto left me with many mixed feelings. Yet, the thing that left me with the greatest sense of ambivalence when it came to Naruto was when I realized how terrible a lot of the female characters were. Without attacking individual characters and their portrayals, the crux of the problem with the female characters in Naruto is simply the fact that there aren't very many of them. Now, Naruto has one of the largest casts of characters among any manga I've seen, so there are technically a good number of female characters. However, in terms of ratio, the male characters outnumber the female characters by at least 2 to 1 every time. This holds true among practically every group of characters throughout the series. The initial Genin teams were in groups of 3. Sakura, Hinata, Tenten, and Ino were the only females in their respective teams. The Sennin, the 3 legendary ninja, had Tsunade as the only female member. Similarly, the 3 apprentices of Jiraiya, who effectively started the Akatsuki, only had one of them, and that was Konan. So the question may be then, why are there so many fewer female characters? If you ignore the fact that this is a fictional universe where literally anything could happen, you could say that females don't become shinobi or ninja because it is dangerous and it's like the military. Then the question would be why. In Naruto, it is well explained that a shinobi's power comes from their ability to use chakra, an inner spiritual power that gives the ninja in the series their strength and amazing powers. It has never been hinted that the chakra is more likely to be possessed by men, and so far, women characters have had just as much aptitude at using chakra as the male characters. So in a village that is centered around ninja, why would there be so many fewer women? No matter what way you look at it, the sheer fact that there are significantly less female characters in the series impacts the likelihood that these characters will make any real impact on the plot and be thereby memorable. If the 2 to 1 ratio rule that I mentioned before were something that was unwritten in the series, it would make sense to make a point to have this rule hold true all the time and not to miss opportunities to include good female characters. Groups like the Akatsuki and the 7 Ninja Swordmen, for example, have very low rates of women in their groups. The Akatsuki had only 1 female member out of the roughly 15 members that they had over their entire lifespan. In addition, that female character was Konan, who was already part of a ninja trio and outnumbered by Nagato and Yaiko. In the 7 Ninja Swordsmen, only 1 of them was a female. What is the reason why all of these characters are male? Their gender does not hold any particular significance to the story, so why not even the odds a little bit and make an extra one of them a girl? Not only would this help in creating balance, it would also diversify the plot. Every story that could ever be told cannot be told from a male's perspective. There is no reason why Hidan or Deidara could not have been a girl. Given the very masculine personality of Anko, I don't think that the characters' personalities would have had much bearing on choosing their gender either. The points that I've mentioned so far are probably the most significant reasons why there aren't very many good female characters in Naruto. However, I'm most disturbed with the fact that among the female characters in the series, very little of them go through any growth or change. Neither do they seem to have any wants or desires that aren't related to another male character. They lack development, and development is what makes good characters. The women of this series often live vicariously through their male counterparts. Take the leading lady of the series. Sakura from the beginning of the series was motivated by either the desire to prove that she's not a burden to her team and or to impress Sasuke, her love interest. Most if not all of her development was inspired by these desires. Additionally, every chance that she got to grow or to make some kind of personal development or to change, she decided not to. She'll hand her responsibilities off to somebody else or choose some other less difficult route to go on. When she had the resolve to kill Sasuke, and she had the opportunity, she couldn't do it. Time and time again, she falls back onto an inner monologue of, does Sasuke care about me? Did he notice me? She'll do this in the middle of battle with Madara, for instance. In lieu of thinking about how to win the battle, she was more concerned about the man who she liked. When you hold Naruto's female characters up to their male counterparts, either the other two that are likely to be in the team that they have together, or to any other male in the series, they seem to pale in comparison. The men in the series seem to have very clear motives for what they want, and their desires always come from something personal that isn't related to women or to other men for that matter. Let's take our main trio, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. Sasuke wants revenge for his brother and his clan. He has gone through a plethora of side changes and reveals that allow him to grow. Naruto wants to become Hokage, the leader of the village. He wants to find Sasuke and bring him back to the village. He wants to protect the family that he has built. Sakura wants to not be weak anymore, at least not as weak as the other men in her team, and she wants Sasuke to notice her romantically. This is the trope of the female character in Naruto. Their desires are unclear and unsubstantial. Although Sakura does fail in this way, other female characters are not much better. Some of the most visible women in the series are Tenten, Ino, and Hinata. None of them seem to have any personal desires. We simply just don't know what motivates them as characters. Tenten, towards the beginning of the series, did express that she wanted to be a great kunoichi or female ninja like Tsunade, but this was never realized in the series. It was kind of just left hanging. She never really approached Tsunade for training, and she didn't become her assistant. Hinata, very much like Sakura, only seems to be interested in proving that she has worth as a ninja when she isn't having an inner monologue about her love interest, which is Naruto. Ino, on the other hand, is some of the most perplexing because we just don't know what she wants. Most of the time, she is seen trying to support the other two men on her team rather than making her own decisions about things. And of course, she still hasn't let the audience forget that she has a thing for Sasuke because who knows, she's a girl. The anime has attempted to develop these characters to make them more well-rounded, and it has been nice, but has largely failed because these plots have never been revisited, in addition to the fact that the filler arcs are non-canon. Now take the Jonin of the village. There are 4 of them introduced with our Genin, and among them there is one female, Kurenia. She has the least amount of both backstory and personal development among all of them. Even though her 3 male counterparts are given history, wants, and desires, the audience knows what they've had to struggle for. Kurenia has little to nothing. Even her ninja powers are generally a mystery to the main canon. We know that she can use genjutsu or illusions, but the manga has only shown her using it once. The anime did have a couple episodes in a filler arc that showed her using her skills, but they have otherwise been glossed over. The manga even went as far as to relegate her to complete obscurity by making her a mother. They gave her a baby, and then she disappeared. And if that isn't evidence enough of what the manga or possibly the writer Kishimoto feels about women characters, I don't know what is. She was supposed to be a high-level ninja, a specialist in genjutsu, a leader of a team of ninja, but when she had the baby, we had to say goodbye to her. The manga didn't even discuss what happened to her team while she was pregnant. Did they get a new captain? Did they disband? We don't know because they don't care. When Kakashi, captain of Team 7, was out of commission for a while, they gave his team a whole new captain, Captain Yamato. He was given a backstory and development, and he has served a large role in the 10-Tail Shinobi War arc. I can safely say that the audience knows more about him than we do Kurenia, and most female characters in the series for that matter. Women in the Naruto series usually fall into one of 2 categories. They either have issues with inadequacy and try to prove themselves to be as good as another character, Ino, Hinata, Sakura, Tenten, or they have love interests that drive their actions. Kurenia, Sakura, Conan, Karin. Now, yes, there are some other female characters that are actually interesting and really good characters, like Tamari or Anko, or Lady Chiyo, Shizune for instance. But often these women, and many of the women that are in the series, are just side characters who are too peripheral to need development. We don't need to know what Tamari wants out of life, or her goals, or what she hates, or how her life has changed since meeting Naruto. She's just an awesome character, a dope ninja from a different village. To force us to know all of that about her in any significant way would probably distract too much from the plot. The only female character that has had treatment on par with any other character, with a good backstory and motivation and clear desires, is Tsunade. We know where and who she's from. We know her love interests. We know why she does the things she does. She went through an entire arc where she betrayed an old friend, confronted her past, and got over a crippling phobia, all while becoming the leader of her village. And by the way, that was how she was introduced. The only thing that the manga does moderately well for other female characters is developing their fighting skills alongside their male counterparts, whether or not they get to use or display them in any significant way. The women in the Naruto series are given very poor treatment. When put up against similarly popular manga or anime, the women characters in their stories, like Bleach and One Piece and My Hero Academia, who have a plethora of female characters who are not only well developed, but are also very powerful and influential to the plot, Naruto pales in comparison. I can't be sure if this is an unintentional sentiment of the manga, or if these portrayals are due to the subconscious beliefs of Naruto's writer, Kishimoto Masashi. Unfortunately, I haven't continued the franchise enough to know if much has changed. Boruto, the sequel to Naruto, is doing okay, I guess, but from the outside looking in, Sakura is still love obsessed, Hinata is a homemaker, and Anko is fat for some reason now. All of the other female characters are just out there being ninja, and I'm fine with that. However, I have noticed that the female genin are getting a good amount of screen time. Based upon what I've experienced in this series, the best I can hope for is breaking even in Boruto, and nothing getting any worse. Or maybe some good improvement, because I honestly think there is room for it. To be true to myself, I will say that I hope this not only because I feel that these female characters are being demeaned in some way, but because I actually hold these characters in high regard.